Hi guys, it's Jolene. I am finally getting around to refilming my monochromatic orange look that I had posted on my Instagram. Oh gosh, it's probably been a month or better. I had filmed it and then went to edit it, and my camera, I don't even know what happened, but basically it didn't record 90% of the look. So I thought I would go ahead and refilm it, recreate it for you guys, and hopefully I remember everything that I used because it's been a while. And this time around, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a talk through because I don't do those very often, and I thought it would be helpful. So if you want to see the look, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is put my hair back just to keep it out of the way. I'm trying to let it grow out, and I recolored it, but it's still not long enough to do much. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little sample of my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. And I know this is probably germaphobe's worst nightmare, but I don't share this kind of stuff with anyone, so I don't mind just putting it on with the actual applicator. I really like this primer. I don't use primers very often, but I feel like I probably should a little more often because it does really help. And since I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, I thought maybe it would help kind of smooth it on a little bit better. I really like this primer just because it doesn't, I mean, it has like a little bit of a silicone feel to it, but it's not bad like some of the other ones that I've tried. And I apologize ahead of time if you can hear my cat. I've let him in today to film with me, and he's very vocal today. It's Friday, I guess that's why he's doing that. The next thing I'm going to take is I'm going to take my Benefit Erase Paste in number 2 medium and just pop this underneath my eyes. I realize that normal rule of thumb is you put concealer on after foundation, but I really like this like before my foundation because my dark circles are so bad, and this concealer itself is I feel like it's sticky enough that it holds up even after I put like my foundation on, and it just gives me another barrier to kind of hide my circles.
So just put a thin layer of that on. Hey! Nobody wants to hear your mouth. You see what I mean?
I feel like the older he gets, the more mouthy he gets. I suppose that's kind of like a child. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and this is in Porcelain. Give it a good shake. Okay. I think I'm just going to do about 1 pump. We'll see how that goes. Because this stuff's pretty thick. I feel like I can get away with probably 1 pump. But I'm going to use my beauty blender, so I may need a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. As you can tell, I've went back to using my beauty blender. I don't know. I feel like it just does a better job for me with foundations. I know a lot of people just like brushes, but I tend to just really like my beauty blender. I put a new setting on my camera, so I'm hoping that you have noticed over the last, I don't know, 2-3 videos that the coloring might be a little bit better. I feel like when I edit that it looks a little bit better, but I don't know. I still haven't got around to get a new camera. I'm trying to find a good deal on the Canon Rebel T3i, but Canon discontinued it, so I'm having a hard time finding it. Or at least like a new one. Like I could get a used one, but that's kind of a hit or miss too, you know? I mean, you don't know how hard somebody's used the said camera and all that kind of stuff, so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little bit more. Probably like a half a pump maybe. just to give a little more coverage. I'm finally healing from my sunburn, so I have a really nice tan going on, which makes this foundation, and well, pretty much any of my foundations, look a little bit better, blend a little bit better. But I really love this Too Faced Born This Way foundation. It's very skin-like, and I love that about it. Especially if you use the Beauty Blender. If you use a brush, I feel like you're going to get like a lot more coverage, but I don't necessarily need full coverage like all the time, so medium is really about all I need. Okay. Next I'm going to do under eye concealer, and I'm going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. And just pop that. I've been trying to milk this one. I got a brand new one, but I've been trying to milk every single last little drop of this one because it's so expensive. But I love it. So I'm trying to make sure I use all of it up. Every last little drop. This hair. I have a lot of ideas coming up for makeup tutorials. In my last video, which it'll be up by the time you see this one, it's using the Morphe 35 T palette, I think it's T. I have a lot of different looks that I want to use with that palette, but I'm trying to like space it out so I don't use just that palette because that could get kind of old. But I have a lot of looks that I want to use with it because I am absolutely obsessed with that palette. Like in every way, shape, and form. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. Kind of one of those things that it's like right up my alley because of all the purples and the plums and all that kind of stuff. So. And then I'm going to use my under eye setting powder, which is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder with a Morphe MB23. I've really been enjoying this brush for under eye concealer because I feel like you can really like buff it in. I still like my Real Techniques setting brush. I like it just as well, but I kind of like, I don't know. I've really kind of been enjoying this one just because you can really like buff it in. All about preference, I suppose. I love this stuff, or the Secret Brightening Powder, because I feel like a little bit goes a very long way. Like you don't have to like really pack it on, which is nice. Next I'm going to take my MAC Painterly Paint Pot and just pop that all over my lids. I feel like I need to branch out and use something else other than this, but this is like a tried and true holy grail kind of product that I don't ever think to use anything else. It matches my skin tone and it lasts all day. Like, you don't have any problems making it last. I don't know, I really like it. Which, speaking of skin tone, I got my nails redone. And thank you, Jacqueline Hill, for showing on your Snapchat this color. It's called Don't Bossa Nova Me Around. It's like the perfect, like, nudie pink. Like, but then in some lights it's not just pink, it's like an actual nude. I freaking love it. I hope they don't discontinue it, because I know it's like one of those, like, sets or whatever. I just really want them to keep it. So next I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. And I'm going to take the color Sheer Joy right here. Just to kind of set that paint pot so that it doesn't crease. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera, and I'm going to zoom you guys in and we'll get started on the eyes. Okay, so I got my eyebrows on. The first color that I am going to take is from the IT Naturally Pretty palette. And I'm going to take, well, first I'm going to take Warmth, which is this color right here. And we're just going to put that in our crease kind of as the transition color. I know the monochromatic phase, you know, kind of dissipated really quickly, but I really kind of wanted to do a look like that. And I finally decided I was going to get brave and try it, and it come out really nice the first time, so I'm hoping that I can recreate it again. Yeah, it was 5 weeks ago that I did that look, so it's been a little while. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take, let's see here, I'm going to take the Morphe MB25, and I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics again in Sunrise, and I'm going to focus that really just in my crease, like, not as a cut crease, but we'll blend it up a little bit, but I really want to focus it in the crease. Bring it in slightly and then down onto the lid even just a little bit. Just really blend that nicely. If you guys end up really liking this, I would be game to try more monochromatic looks, maybe with a purple or I don't know, browns or whatever. I feel like the oranges is a really easy one to kind of do because there's so many variations and whatnot that, I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. Swoop that down. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with just a smaller brush. This is, I do believe, a Coastal Scents brush. It's the C433 Pro Blending Fluff. And I'm going to go in with the color Sunset from the same IT Cosmetics palette. And this, again, we're going to focus really just in the crease. Oh, excuse me. Mainly the outer crease, and then you can sweep it down but it just kind of gives it a little more dimension and just kind of brightens it up ever so gently. Okay. Next, we're going to go in with the Wet n Wild, this is Sparkling Till Morning palette, and we're going to take this crease color right here, which is a really nice coppery orange, and we're going to put this all over the lid. Kind of stay away from like the inner corner because we're going to put something else there, but this color is just gorgeous. And you can build this intensity up however much you really want. We're gonna put another color kind of over it here in just a second. Okay. And then wipe off your brush that you just used. And then we're gonna go in with, where is my color at? Here it is. This is the BH Cosmetics Wild Child palette. And we're going to take this really pretty peach right smack dab in the middle of it. And we're going to put this mainly like on the inner, let's say inner third. Kind of brush it into that coppery color that we did before. And it kind of just really brightens up the eye without taking away that copper. You take the other side of the brush and kind of blend it together. And it just gives it a really nice transition, I think. It opens up your inner eye, but then you still have the brightness from the copper from before. And then we are going to go in with the IT Cosmetics palette again, and we're going to go in with Sunset again, this time with like a fluffy crease brush, and we're going to focus that on our outer V, just to kind of deepen everything up, give it a really nice like transition. And then you can just go back in with your other brush and just kind of blend all of it together so it kind of just, it looks kind of like a gradient kind of deal. And you can always go back in, actually I think I'm going to just a little bit with the Wet n Wild palette and just go right there in the middle. So for the under the lower lash line, we're going to go in with the color Warmth first. We're kind of going to go in the same order that we did our lids. So we're going to go in with Warmth first, just to kind of get the colors started. And then we're going to go in with Sunrise, which is the lighter of the two. And then we're going to go in with Sunset. And you can smoke this down as far as you want. I doubt I go too far. But you can really bring it down as much as you want. And then for the inner corner, for the lower end, you know, I'm going to take this stark white shade. I love this color for the inner corner because it's absolutely gorgeous. That's the wrong brush. Where's my brush? Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay. So I just take, this is a dual-ended crown brush. It has a pencil brush on one side and a shader on the other. I always take the pencil brush and I bring it down on the lower lash line as well, just a little bit. And it wakes up the eyes so much, especially like if you're doing like a smoky eye. I think this would be like perfect. It's also got a champagne color up on the top row that you could use if you didn't want to use like a stark white. But for me, I really like the white color. There. Take that same white color on the shader brush side of that dual-ended, and I'm just going to run this on my brow bone. I usually either use this color or I'll use the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance highlight in number 1. I use one of those two as a brow bone highlight, and they're both gorgeous. Okay. Now, to deepen up the lower lash line just a little bit, I'm actually going to take the It Cosmetics again, and I'm going to go in with Java on a Morphe M508 brush. It's just an itty bitty little shader brush. And I'm going to run this just at my lash line, just to really like deepen that up, ever so gently. Forgive me if I end up blinding you. I'm going to try not to, but I'm going to get up here just closer. I love this brush just for that because it gets right up at your lash line and you don't have to worry about like the color like blowing out too much. Like you can just centralize it to that one area. I love it. Thank you, Manny MUA, for the brush suggestion. There, just a little bit. It doesn't take much, but it just kind of deepens up that lower lash line just a little bit. I think that's all we need to do for the eyes. I'm going to do my eyeliner, which I'm going to use my Starlooks Kohl Eye Pencil in Obsidian for the tight line and probably for up on the upper lash line. And then I'm going to use the Laura Geller Incredible Waterproof Gel Eyeliner Pencil in Brown Eyed Girl. As I was saying before I was rudely cut off, I used, let's see, CoverGirl Lash Blast, the original, and then a little bit of the Telescopic Carbon Black. I'm using, for the first time, and I don't wear false lashes very often at all, but I'm using the Cocoa Lashes in Cocoa. And then just to hide the line a little bit, I use the Jessie's Girl Liquid Eyeliner in black. And I think we're all caught up to speed. Now we can do the face. It helps if I actually get out my face products. Hold on. Okay, for contour, I'm going to use, I do believe this is Fawn, from the Anastasia Contour Kit. And actually I'm going to take a little bit of the first color too. I kind of mixed between the two, but I mostly use the cooler shade. Just do a little bit of bronzing of the face. A little bit on the nose, under the lip. And then I take it a little bit down my neck, oops, just to kind of blend everything. Because I don't know about you guys, but my neck, like, I can burn everywhere. I can burn and tan my chest, my arms, my back, my face, but my neck never does anything. It stays white. That and my legs. My feet will tan, but my actual legs, like my calves and my shins and everything, they stay pasty pale. I don't understand that, but it does it. For blush, I'm going to use a combination of Makeup Geek's Bliss blush and then a little bit of Romance, which is kind of like a dupe for the NARS Orgasm. I'm mainly going to use Bliss, but I'm going to go in between the two of them. And just pop that on my cheeks. I love her blushes. They are so pigmented. And she's got such a pretty range of colors that... There. Got that. And then for highlight, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Highlight in number 1. With a Morphe M601 brush. A little bit on the forehead. A little on the chin. And then Cupid's bow, just a little bit. Right on the tip of the nose, and then whatever is left, go down the center. And then for lips, I'm going to use the LA Girl Glazed Lip Paint in Hot Mess, which is just an orange. But it's a very wearable orange, to be completely honest. Like, it's not cray-cray or anything. It's a little cray-cray of how you get these things out, but... you need to have some severe patience with these. you have it, guys. This is the orange monochromatic look that I came up with. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun filming. And step out of your comfort zone. I know I did. I'm not necessarily one that'll wear orange lipstick, but it really ties in this look together. And yeah, I really like it. I think it came out really nice. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see some other monochromatic looks, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!